What's going on YouTube? Welcome to my channel, the 10K Property Report. My name is Kay, and today we're going to discuss how to find properties on Zillow for $10,000 or less. Without further ado, let's get started. So the very first thing I want to take you to, or the place I want to take you to, is Zillow. Now on Zillow, what you're going to do is place in the search engine what you're trying to look for. And I typically always, for whatever reason, start in Alabama and I branch out from there. I've been doing this for a long time to try to find these deals under $10,000. So I know that Alabama typically, as you can see all these red dots, they typically have a plethora of properties, okay? But that's not the only state, and I'm gonna show you in just a second how to hover over to check out other states you may be interested in, because you may not be interested in Alabama. All right, so as you can see here, Alabama. So I'm gonna take you through step by step what I do and the filters that I use in order to find these properties. The for sale, you keep that for sale clicked, and $5,000 to $10,000. Now, the reason why I place my minimum at $5,000, you can place it at $3,000 or $4,000 as well. But what I found is if you place it at zero, you will get some of these. I don't even know why they place them on Zillow. Sometimes they'll place auction prices on Zillow for $1 or $5 or whatever the case may be. And that's kind of a waste of time, especially when you want an active property that's on Zillow that is not at auction, not foreclosed, etc. So keep that in mind. And a lot of times, for whatever reason as well, which I do believe Zillow should fix this, when you place it, let's say you put $1,000 as your minimum, a lot of times rentals will pull up, and that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for properties for sale, as I've already clicked here that I want it for sale. All right, so you get a hodgepodge of things mixed into your search if you don't place it at $5,000. That is my experience, and yeah, you should try that out as well. Beds and baths, I do leave that any, meaning I leave it a blank slate because I want to see every single property that is available. Doesn't matter to me the beds or the baths that it comes with. If it's a good deal, it's a good deal. We can try to make it work. Although 2 bedrooms, 1 bath is typically hard to, if you're trying to flip, it's hard to flip, but you can always add an additional room, add an additional bathroom to increase the appraisal of the property. And a lot of folks do that in order to get a higher appraisal, especially if they're trying to refinance that home. All right. So if you see these options, you have houses, townhouses, multifamily, condos, lots, land, apartments, manufactured. So depending on where you're interested in, I typically deselect manufactured, apartments. If I'm interested in land, I can choose land. But if you just want a home, like a brick and mortar home, then you can deselect land and lots because it'll pull up properties that have land. And if you don't want that, then deselect it. However, if you do, make sure you keep it selected. But for my example purposes today, I'm going to deselect lots and land. Condos and co-ops, deselect. Multifamily, I'm gonna leave that there because I've seen duplexes on here under $10,000. It needed a lot of work. Yes, it did. However, you never know what you can find. So I'll leave that selected. Townhomes, I'll leave that selected as well. Houses, definitely select that as well. Moving on to more, I typically like to, if you know anything about my main channel, Money Moves with K, I do not like HOA fees or just in general. So I leave this no HOA fee, but you can definitely leave it any or whatever you select if you don't mind a HOA. Owner posted, I deselect that. I typically like to go through the realtor, the agent that is listing it. That's why agent listed is selected. Okay. New construction, I know for a fact there will be no new constructions under $10,000. So I deselected just to get rid of all the clutter. I wouldn't be looking for that. Foreclosures, for this particular search, I'm a deselected. However, you can leave it selected. All right. Auctions, I deselect that as well because a lot of times they pull up auctions and you have to go to the auction website. And I do not want to go for my search here. I don't want to go to any outside website. I want to stay on Zillow. So I I deselect auctions as well. Everything else is good to go. Coming soon, deselect that. It's not necessary. And if you really wanted to get down to a property that fits your criteria, you can come down here and you can click keywords and you can put in things such as fixer upper, handyman special. Those are all keywords that you can search in order to see what it will bring up, because you know that it's going to need repairs, but you can also find pretty much a wedge deal or a deal that you can build the equity in, or it already comes with equity sometimes. But mainly you have to build that with repairs and stuff like that if it's under $10,000. All right. This doesn't matter. What I do want to say though, if you are searching land, I highly suggest that you put a lot size here. So it goes all the way, it says no max, and then the minimum, it has a minimum. So if you're very adamant about having, half an acre of land or an acre of land, this is where you would put that search. Now I will say under $10,000, no matter where you search in the North America, well, I'll say in the United States, not just North America, but in the United States, you will not find too many properties that are 1 acre or above. If you do, that's under 10K. If you do, you really want to hone in on doing your due diligence. And I'll stop here. Make sure you check out my 10K property report. It's a newsletter. It's a free newsletter that's sent to you each and every week. And I have deals just like this, or these deals under 10K that you can analyze and look at, and they're sent to you without you having to do what I'm showing you to do right now. All right. So I'll pin that in the comment section below and you can check that out for yourself. Moving on. So after I do all of that, what I click is apply, and it pulls up some properties here. Now, what I like to do is filter my search based off of the newest listings that are on Zillow. So if you click here, you can search low to high, high to low, but I like to keep it at newest. And so let's click this property and it gives you an idea of what it's selling for. This is selling for $9,900 in Selma, Alabama. All right. So when was this house built? 1940. I can tell by not the decor, but kind of how it looks on the exterior as well. Looks like our older home. DIY, either flip, rent, or move. Home is being sold as is. Cash preferred, but we'll consider financed all offer. Okay, let me show you something too. A lot of times on these listings, they have all this is very important. This let me show you under this tab, facts and features. Please always check this. This is very important. It gives you a lot of information that's on the MLS. It gives you a lot of information that is within the county, right? So you can get the parcel number. I explained the parcel number is kind of like being a social security number for a property. This is gold because sometimes you may stumble across a piece of land that has no address. However, if you place this in the if you place that number into the county assessors, it'll pull it up for you, or the GIS. All right. So does it have it? Sometimes they don't have it, but a lot of times here under financial and listing details, they will tell you what they accept. Do they accept a loan? Which anything under $10,000, 99.9% of the time, you're not going to get traditional funding for this type of property. There's always outside means to get that money. However, a bank is not going to lend you $10,000 for what they may call a liability. Okay. So this is the property. And yeah, these are the pictures. I also want you to keep in mind to make sure you have enough money, meaning not enough money. Make sure you have enough in your budget, is what I meant, to consider closing costs, because you may find a property that's $9,900, such as the first one we just looked at, and the closing costs range from about 2 to 3%, all the way up to 5% of the purchase price. So make sure you factor in closing costs as well. And not only that, more than likely you're going to need some repairs to these properties, whether you're wanting to rent it out, whether you want to live in it yourself, or keep it as a long-term well, I said that already, a long-term rental. These are all exit strategies that you need to consider and make sure, this is the right decision for you, okay? I think that is all I wanted to show you guys, with this particular way to find properties on Zillow under $10,000. I wanted to walk you step by step on how to do it. Oh, I got one more tip for you. So when you're here, as you can see, this is what I forgot to show you guys. So if you zoom out just a little bit, you can hover over these other states and it'll show you what they have available in those states according to the red dots. So Memphis, Tennessee, right? It'll keep your search, but it'll go to Memphis, Tennessee. It'll go to Kentucky, Indiana. So this is just a way to This is 10,000 bucks. This is in Gary, Indiana. This is a way to make the process a little faster, especially if you're wanting to just look at different states and check out what they have available for $10,000 or under that or below. Okay. So hover over the map and it'll show you different states. You click it and it'll pull up information or properties within that state. That was the last thing I wanted to show you. If you made this far in the video, thank you so very much. Please in the comment section put 10K. It allows me to know you made it this far in the video and I truly do appreciate it. Until next time, guys, you stay blessed. Peace.